We're on the phone today with WWE Hall of Famer Madusa Miceli, also known as Alundra Blayze, former WWF Women's Champion and AWA World Women's Champion. She'll be at the Wilmer Mania event, Midwest All-Star Wrestling's Wilmer Mania, coming up in Wilmer on April 9th. Madusa, how's it going today?
Well, good evening, Dustin. This is Madusa. I'm freezing and it sucks here and it's snowing. Like, what the hell?
You must be back in Minnesota then.
I am. I am. Yes. Well, where are you?
I am in Mankato.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, it's got to be cold up there.
Yeah, it's...
or over there, or whatever.
Yeah, it's springtime, but as you know, in Minnesota, usually it's just summer and winter, I think, these days.
I hear ya. I know when I left Florida to come here, it was like 82 degrees. Woo! So nice.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time out with me. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, let's do this interview.
Well, I know you are back in Minnesota here for Midwest All-Star Wrestling's Wilmer Mania. That's at Wilmer coming up April 9th. And I know you said you're back in Minnesota now. Have you been back much over the years here back to Minnesota?
I come back intermittently. I moved to Florida when I left the AWA, working for Vern Gagne. And when I got my opportunity to work in Japan, I left AWA and I moved to Japan for 3 years. And then when I was done in Japan, I came back and I moved to Florida. And I've been there ever since. And I come back to Minneapolis here and visit family intermittently every so often and some friends. And I try not to come in the winter anymore.
Yeah, it's great for the fans of the old AWA, and of course you've done so much in your career. But it's great that you're back, and again at Wilmer Mania, that's a free event. It'll be a great chance to meet you, and I know Swoggle, formerly Hornswoggle, he'll be there as well. So that's great.
It will be. It'll be a really good time. I haven't been up in the Wilmer area for forever, like 30 years, I guess, and I'm really looking forward to it. You know, being from Minnesota and my basic career was, formed here, and it was Ed Sharkey from Minnesota that actually it was Kai Michelson that got me into the business, and Kai Michelson introduced me to Ed Sharkey, and it bloomed from there. And then working, on the independent circuit and AWA, there was the ultimate Mr. Voice himself, Nick Karsh.
Yeah, it's great, as I mentioned. A lot of people obviously know you as Alundra Blayze and WWE and, of course, WCW and, the trash can and all that stuff. But a lot of us longtime fans know you from the AWA, of course, working with Sherry Martel and Wendy Richter and Kurt Hennig. So many great people came through here, as you know.
Oh, well, I think it's the water, because there's a lot of great people that have been bred from Minnesota, from the wrestling world, and that have gracefully and professionally and historically become huge icons in the world of, wrestling from Minnesota all over the territory. So it's been very interesting. It's been a love-hate relationship, and it's been an arduous career of pro wrestling, but I've enjoyed it, and I mean it's helped I guess mold me who I am today. And after about 18, 20 years of wrestling, I finally was going to retire in 2001, and then I got an opportunity to drive monster trucks in 1999. And I just finished driving in 2020 in Australia. So that's another 20 years and another wonderful sport of entertainment that I was in. So I've had two colorful careers, just colorful careers, and I've just been very blessed, absolutely. And I'm really looking forward to coming back here and being able to see, new fans and old fans, and plus to get to watch the talent in Wilmer Mania, and
Yep.
And be able to talk to them and watch their matches, give some feedback, and just be able to say hello to people. So it's going to be an exciting night, and it's this Saturday at Wilmar Auditorium, and I think the doors open around 6 o'clock, and we'll be doing some autographs and photos.
Awesome. Yeah. And Midwest All-Star Wrestling, I know there's a lot of independent wrestling outfits out there, but they really do some outstanding work. And, obviously, as you mentioned, a lot of fans out there, and definitely a lot of fans of women's wrestling. And I wanted to ask you your thoughts of that. Nowadays, you got to be pretty proud to see how it's evolved over the years. Because, back when you started, you were, I think, at the level that the women are at now, but not a lot of other people were up there to work with.
Well, I mean, I was trained by the best, and I knew that when I got into the business, I really did my diligence and figured out, what I had to do to change the trajectory of women's wrestling and to get and earn the respect that it lacked. And I was damned that I was going to be that person. I mean, I when I set my mind to something, I do it until the fullest, until, if there's a wall there, I figure out how to go through it. And through the sports entertainment life of pro wrestling and being a woman back in my era, and even the women before me, the greats that made it possible for me even to step into the ring at my time. So, of course, the full circle, women's wrestling has always been evolving, though it's at points that it has stayed stagnant, and there's still so much work to do. However, at my time and the women before me, and what I continue to do to this day to have a voice in it, that is just to pave the way and gracefully, and to be heard and make it a better place. The women today are finally making $1 million contracts.
Right.
There's not one woman before the Attitude Era that has ever made that. And it's sad. And thank God today, finally in 2022, and a woman signed her first $1 million contract, and so you're welcome. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And that's what we work so hard for.
Yeah, it's definitely come a long way. And, there's a lot of just female wrestling organizations out there as well. I know you were working with Stardom for quite a while. Are you still working with them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still their commissioner. And I know Rossi Ogawa very well because he worked for the All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling that I worked for when I first went over there and signed my contract for 3 years in the 90s. So it was 88, 89, 90. And he was working in the office at the time. And those brothers died and closed down the business. And then he reopened his own, and now it's starting. So, yeah, pretty impressive.
Well, I wanted to ask you, this is probably an odd question, but speaking of Japan...
Yep, it is odd. No, just kidding. I don't know.
I've never been able to track down a copy of this, but the album you recorded in Japan, Who's Madusa? How did that all come about?
I'm not sure, but all I know is that the Japanese are marketing geniuses back then. I had more merchandise there than the Americans ever did of me, so... They say, oh, Madusa, we're going to make a calendar. Oh, Madusa, we're going to do this. Oh, Madusa, this, Madusa. Madusa, you're going to sing. Madusa, you're going to go to Thailand and start boxing. And you're just like, what? Okay, let's try this. So, yeah. And a nice little fact is that I recorded that music at Paisley Park back in the day when it just opened.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Not too many people know that.
Yeah, I knew there was some interesting things recorded there, but I never would have guessed that that was at Paisley Park. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of it was mixed and recorded in Japan as well, but a lot of it was there at Paisley Park.
Do you have copies of that? Or, I mean, where can you track one of those down? If it's produced in Minnesota,
it's not available at all. It was 1988, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep looking, though.
Oh, okay. You do that. I can't sing worth crap.
Well, we just saw your old partner in the Dangerous Alliance, Steve Austin, make a big comeback here at WrestleMania. So I got to ask you, do you think you got one more run in you, or could we see you come back into the ring maybe?
Oh, we always think we got one more run in us. I will think I have one more run in me when I'm freaking 90 years old. So, why not? Never say never. Never say never at all. Are you going to be at the wrestling?
I'm going to try to make it there. I don't know if I'll make it for sure, but definitely hoping to.
Okay. All right. Well, good. I'll be looking forward to seeing you. So doors open at 6. Make sure you come and get our autographs. I'll shake your hand, and we can chit-chat for a bit. And this is Saturday at the Wilmar Auditorium, everybody.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much. I'm excited that you're still out there, with the fans and Midwest All-Star Wrestling, Wilmer Mania. And it's been great speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you are so welcome, and thank you. And hopefully we'll see you and meet you there. Have a great night.
All right, you too. Thank you so much.
Okay, honey. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And again, that was WWE Hall of Famer Madusa Miceli, and she'll be at Midwest All-Star Wrestling's Wilmer Mania coming up on Saturday in Wilmer. It's a free event, and meet and greet starts at 6 for Madusa Miceli.